Are you looking for the best 4K gaming monitor? In this video we will look at some of the best 4K gaming monitor on the market. Before we get started with our video,
we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range.
Number 1. Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32B G85. The best 4K gaming monitor we've tested is the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32B G85, a fantastic gaming monitor with a 4K at 240Hz refresh rate. While you still need a high-end graphics card to reach its max refresh rate, it's at least a good choice if you plan on upgrading your PC and don't want to buy a new monitor in the future. However, if you don't want such a high refresh rate, you can consider the Samsung Odyssey Neo G7S32B G75, a very similar monitor with a 165Hz refresh rate instead, which also tends to cost less. In terms of the Neo G8's gaming performance, motion looks incredible thanks to its fast response time. It also has native FreeSync variable refresh rate, VRR, support and G-Sync compatibility to reduce screen tearing. It supports HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, so you can easily game with the PS5, Xbox Series X vertical bar S, or any other HDMI 2.1 compatible graphics card. Another advantage is its excellent picture quality, as it uses mini LED backlighting to produce a decent local dimming feature with deep blacks and minimal blooming. It also gets bright enough for a satisfying HDR experience. Number 2. Sony INZONE M9. If you don't need such a premium gaming monitor and prefer getting something that's great for gaming and a bit cheaper, check out the Sony INZONE M9. It's different from the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8S32B G85 because it has a lower 144Hz refresh rate and doesn't have mini LED backlighting, so it has worse picture quality with a lower contrast ratio, and highlights don't pop as much. That said, the local dimming feature is still okay enough to provide good enough picture quality for darkroom gaming, and there isn't too much blooming around bright objects. If you care about premium picture quality, though, you can also consider the INZONE M27U, which uses mini LED backlighting but is harder to find. Besides that, the Sony is an excellent gaming monitor, and while it has worse motion handling than the Samsung, it's still good enough that you won't see much blur. It also has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth that lets it take full advantage of gaming consoles and modern graphics cards. Because it's a Sony product, it also has a few features you can only use with the PS5, like Auto HDR tone mapping, which optimizes the HDR performance according to different games. Number 3. LG 27GR93UB. If you still want something cheaper, there are some options you can get for less than the Ace Nitro XV275K P3 BIP rusks that are great for gaming, but the trade-off is that they have worse picture quality. The LG 27GR93UB is a great choice if that's what you want, but it doesn't have mini LED backlighting or even a local dimming feature like the Acer, so it performs worse in dark rooms. But that's what you have to expect for a monitor in this price range. It's better for gaming at lower refresh rates than the Acer because it has a quicker response time and lower input lag for a more responsive feel. Besides that, it has everything you'd expect to find in a 4K gaming monitor, like HDMI 2.1 bandwidth to make full use of gaming consoles and modern graphics cards. It has a 144Hz refresh rate and supports all common VRR formats, including HDMI 4 VRR, so it reduces screen tearing with. Number 4. Gigabyte M27U. If you want something on a tight budget, you'll have to spend more money than on other budget gaming monitors, as 4K monitors tend to cost more regardless. If interested, check out the Gigabyte M27U, which is worth stretching your budget for because it's excellent for gaming with a 150Hz native refresh rate that you can overclock to 160Hz. It's very similar to the LG 27GR93UB as it's also excellent for gaming, but there are some minor differences. It has less HDMI 2.1 bandwidth than the LG, as it only supports 24 Gbps of bandwidth compared to 48 Gbps on the LG. This doesn't make a big difference, as you can still reach its max 160 Hz refresh rate with 4K signals, but your graphics card needs to use compression for that. It can negatively impact picture quality, but it isn't a significant difference. Another downside is that it has slightly worse motion handling than the LG, but it isn't a significant difference either.